Good morning. If you're joining right now, too late but never too late. You're late but never too late. So we are here with Peter Oluoch on the launch. Thank you very much for sticking around and coming through. You are an ICT expert, a researcher and investor in the world of stock markets. Maybe a brief background in what that looks like for us.
Basically, my name is Peter Oluoch. I work at the University of Nairobi as a web admin. I run the College of Humanities website and have a bachelor's degree in computer science and a master's degree in computer science. So over the last...
really are an ICT expert.
Yeah, so over the last 15 years, I've been in the ICT industry. I've worked with many companies before, Nation Media Group, one of them. I've worked with... I also set up my side hustle, a business enterprise. I've worked with many clients like World Vision International, like Regency Hotel, Youth Enterprise Development Fund. I've worked with many companies.
Right.
But currently I'm working at the University of Nairobi in charge of the website.
Now, we start from ICT. How you have worked with institutions, we have worked with private organizations. Are we ICT ready? Even as you've mentioned that, because we are moving into a digital world. COVID-19 has affected how we interact in person, and many people are trying to move their services online, but still there's that reluctance in that we can't trust everything that is online. You as someone who has been in these spaces, are we ready as a country, as a nation, as citizens? Are we ready to to move completely digital?
If you compare Kenya with the rest of Africa, we are very much ahead. We are ICT ready. And basically, if you look into, let's say, education, for example, Corona forced most people to go offline. Well, some people, and let me say for us at the University of Nairobi, we didn't go offline. Learning continued, and we even held 2 graduations last year. Everything went back online. Academics went back online. So I can say, well, majority of Kenyans are not, let me say 50-50. Majority of Kenyans are not ready, but slowly we are getting there.
What can we do to make sure that everyone is moving into these digital platforms?
Just have Safaricom giving us free data bundles.
Access to the internet is really a problem.
Yeah, access to the internet is really a problem.
So we will have to ensure that we get free internet connectivity. So the thing that we are trying to look at this morning on the show is stocks. And you are you have been in the world of, you've been an investor in the world of in the stock market. How is it? How has it been so far for you?
I've been in the stock market since 2006.
Wow, that is a long time.
I started with the Stanbic IPO. It was an IPO in Uganda. CFC Stanbic was selling shares. Stanbic was selling some shares. And I bought, one share was going for 70 Uganda shillings. And I bought, I put in about 250,000 Kenya shillings. And the money doubled to almost 500,000.
Wow.
And I realized, wow, this thing is good.
So people think.
I realized this thing is good, so that's where my interest started.
People think those who invest in stocks are multi-millionaires, and people who have big corporates where they have a lot of money they can put into these companies that are putting out their shares. Can a common mwananchi with my 70 bob, with my 1,000 bob, buy shares from Stanbic, from KCB?
The truth is, even 1,000 shillings can buy shares. 1,000 shillings today can buy almost 800 shares of Kenya Power and Lighting Company.
So what's the process like? Someone is watching this show this morning and they want to go out there and get shares from a few companies. What is the process like? Do I need to be qualified in some sort of way to to invest? Because I know most peers and most of the youth that I know have no idea at all on how to go into this.
The process is very simple. Just like you open a bank account, you need to open a CDS account with a stockbroker. There are 30 stockbrokers. So if you go to the NSE website, Nairobi Securities Exchange website, you will find a list of 30 stockbrokers. And any of them can open for you a CDS account. like a bank account, a CDS account is where you keep your money and you also keep your shares. If you buy Safaricom shares, you keep them there. If you buy Equity or KCB shares, you keep them there. So the process is get in contact with a stockbroker, open a CDS account, put money there. But in the last 4 months, I opened a Telegram group and I'm guiding people through the process. So to get me, basically just go to YouTube, search for Peter Oluoch, you'll find me, I'll guide you through the process. Or you get my contacts and I'll guide you through the process.
Now, when someone is investing in stocks, in shares and stocks, there is that fear that you might lose it. You might lose it all. What makes people think that it is really easy to lose money in investment in stock?
The truth is, people lose investments in stocks. Let's take, for example, Uchumi Supermarket or Mumias Sugar. At some point, when Mumias Sugar came for the IPO, Mumias Sugar was selling for 49 shillings per share. Then the share rose up to about 57 shillings per share. 5, 6, 7 years down the line, the share dropped to 1 shilling. So you put in 57 shillings and it dropped 1 bob. Then it went to 0. The same happened with the Chumi, the same happened with the Varedi, the same happened with KPLC. KPLC at one point was about 20 shillings. Currently it's 1 shilling. So many shares, about 10, 20 shares have behaved badly. So there's a lot of fear in the public. So I went back for my master's in computer science. My research was 100% the stock market. I was trying to analyze data over the last 10, 20 years, data science, and trying to develop agents using artificial intelligence and trying to know, to see, based on how this stock is moving, is it possible to predict the future direction? So I gathered a lot of information, I gathered a lot of knowledge. So I'm trying to share this knowledge with my people, with people on YouTube. I'm trying to teach people the stock market and guide you and tell you, well, this thing is a minefield or a landmine. If you step on this one, it will blow you up. So please don't step there. Walk here, walk here, walk here. So I guide you so that you make profit.
So what I'm getting is you need to do a lot of research before you invest in any particular share.
Yes, you need to do research, but believe you me, the kind of research needed to be successful is a lot.
Right.
So it is good to work with a professional to guide you.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, there is that confusion on trading and stocks.
Trading.
People trade shares online, and others go to the Nairobi Securities Exchange. What is the difference? What is that difference between me going on to my screen and actually looking for a stockbroker? What makes that difference?
The thing is this. Originally, the Nairobi Securities Exchange was 100% analog. So people would go to the Nairobi Securities Exchange. The trading floor is on first floor of Nation Center. So people would go there originally. Then by around 2006, 2007, what happened is Nairobi Securities Exchange, they went digital. So every stockbroker, they developed a computer systems. So you don't have to go to the market to trade. You can just send an email to the stockbroker. Remember, I told you to open a CDS account with a stockbroker. So you can just go to your computer or go to your phone and send an email to the stockbroker. Please buy for me equity shares, buy for me Stanchart, buy for me KCB, buy for me Absa, buy for me stock ABC, and the stockbroker. And you can do all that from your phone. Then the last 3-4 years, we've had computer engineers developing apps. So we have apps on Android and we have apps on iPhone, iOS. So with an app, you can also be able to buy it yourself. You don't have to send an email to the stockbroker.
Right.
You can just buy from the app on your phone. You can just be able to buy KCB shares, for example, buy KPLC, buy any of these shares by yourself using your phone.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, during this COVID-19 pandemic, how has it affected how people invest in shares? Do we see an uptick now that people are at home, or are we seeing a slowdown now that there is not much money in circulation?
What COVID-19 has done is has laid many people off. Many people have gone jobless. So, and there's a lot of fear also in many people because you're not sure how tomorrow will be. So instead of investing your money, many people are holding it back. Yeah. But the good thing is, most of these shares dropped. Like, let me give you an example. BAT, for example, used to be 1,000 shillings. One share was 1,000 shillings and 50 cents, some 3-4 years, some 5 years back. As I'm speaking to you now, One share of BAT is about 400 shillings, 430 shillings. So imagine it has gone from 1,000 to
430.
Now imagine a watermelon that was being sold at 100 shillings is now 30 bob. So the prices, I can tell you, is so cheap right now. Yeah, so it's a good time for investors to take opportunity.
So the best time to invest is when the stocks are low, the shares are low, the share price is low.
True. Right. That's the best time to. The principle in shares is one thing. Buy when it's low, sell when it's high. Unanunua watermelon kama ni 30 bob, unauza.
It's just like any other
business. It's just like any other business. Actually, that's what I'm trying to demystify.
Yeah.
I tell people the stock market is like Gikomba. You buy watermelon at 100 shillings.
You go sell it elsewhere at 200.
Yeah, you go sell elsewhere at 200 bob.
Who is this who's buying at the high price?
Now, you may not believe me, but there are many people. Who will buy at. You see, now you are getting the knowledge because I'm telling you. Now, those are the people who don't have the knowledge. They'll buy at that high price.
Right.
But again, look at it this way. You went to Kikomba and bought a watermelon at 100 shillings. You think people in Karen will go to Kikomba?
No,
they'll rather buy it in Karen.
Well, I will take it to them.
Yeah, so you take it to them.
Also, the person who sold it to me already got it elsewhere.
Yes, the person who sold it to you already got it elsewhere.
Yeah.
But again, what happens is some people buy shares specifically for dividends. Like yesterday, BAT was giving a dividend of 41 shillings. So some people bought. When Corona hit, BAT, for example, went to 300 shillings. So some people were afraid things will crash.
Yeah.
So those who are bold enough, they went and bought at 300 shillings. Then after sometimes they sell to you at 500 shillings.
So there's risk taking as well. I understand.
So the risk takers win most. And those who are afraid wacha tuone vile kutaenda, they lose.
Have you ever lost?
Of course. What I'm telling you is this. I've been in the stock market for about 15 years.
Yeah.
13 years were more of losses until I went to school, gathered my knowledge in master's computer
Knowledge
science.
is key then.
Knowledge is super. Knowledge is everything.
It's super key.
It's super key.
And you're trying to give that knowledge to them.
Yes, now I'm trying to, instead of my thesis rotting in the library, I'm converting it into a series of videos and sharing with people on YouTube. So if you search for Peter Oluoch on YouTube, you will find a lot of information that I'm sharing on personal finance and money and the stock market. And please subscribe. Yeah,
make sure that you do, because I wish we had a lot of time to delve into that. And I hope that people can, but I really hope that you can come back again, because we have a lot that we have to discuss in the whole of stock.
Believe you me, there is too much to be talked about.
Yeah.
It took me 4 years researching on the stock market.
Yeah, we can't.
People graduate in 2 years or 3 years. I graduated in 4 years.
Yeah, we can't compress it in 15 minutes.
Yeah, you can't. You can't compress in 15 minutes.
Yeah. So your last remarks in maybe a big lesson or something that unique that you've learned throughout your years in the world of stock as well as ICT, even as we try and wind up.
Ladies and gentlemen, our fellow Kenyans, I have one message and one message only. Everybody can be rich. I tell people in my Telegram channel and I tell people in my YouTube channel that if you save 1,000 shillings times 12 months times 10 years, mathematically it will be 120,000. But if you use the formula of compound interest and invest that money in the stock market, it will be 1 million. I believe, and that's what I'm doing, that I am able to turn 10,000 Kenyans into millionaires. Just save 1,000 shillings. If you can save more, like let's say if you can save 10,000 shillings per month, times 12 months is 120,000, times 5 years, mathematically 600,000. But in the stock market, you'll be a millionaire in 5 years. I'm trying to teach people, and I'm trying to turn everybody into a millionaire. It is so easy, and yet our people, 90% will end up poor. I don't want you to be poor. I want to teach you to fish. It is so easy to be rich, and yet all of us, or many of us, 99% of us, will end up being poor. I don't want you to suffer.
Right.
I don't want you to suffer. Check out Peter Oluoch on YouTube. please subscribe. I have a lot of information to share out.
Thank you very much, Peter, for having the conversation with me. Mic drop. He has just, he's just wrapped it up. That was Peter Oluoch. He's an expert in the world of ICT as well as an investor in the stock market for the past 15 years. Such a great expertise. Check him out on YouTube, Peter Oluoch. Also check out his interview, this one. Later on, we'll be uploading it to, a little bit of introduction to what he does and, advice on what you should do. He says you need to have a lot of knowledge. Knowledge is super key before you invest. But let us save pesa and it becomes 120,000 at the end of 10 years. Invest it in stock, take risks, and you will get big. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, definitely. I'm taking a short break, but I'm coming back to see some of that feedback that you've sent me throughout the show, as well as to wind up on what we have had in this particular show. If you're joining us, this is Biashara Tuesday.